Tonight's show is also brought to you by Alabama Power. At Alabama Power, we give 100% to achieve 99.9% dependability. Our commitment helps deliver power for a better Alabama. By Wind Creek Hotel and Casino, with 3 Alabama locations in Atmore, Montgomery, and Wetumpka. You can escape every day at Wind Creek Hotel and Casino and windcreekcasino.com. The Alabama Department of Public Health. Together, we can create the best opportunity to support health and well-being for all Alabamians. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/COVID-19. And by the simple southern goodness of Golden Flake, celebrating 65 years as the official salty snack of the Auburn Tigers. Now, the host of Tiger Talk, alongside Brad Law, here's the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham.
SEC play begins on Saturday. Missouri makes his first ever trip to Jordan-Hare Stadium. It is homecoming on the Auburn campus. Good evening in War Eagle. This is Tiger Talk, presented by Alfa Insurance. With Brad Law, I'm Andy Burcham from Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Right off the bat tonight, we're going to talk men's golf with Tigers head coach Nick Clinard. His number 1 ranked Tigers had a record-setting performance in their first fall tournament of the season. They played this weekend in Birmingham. Head football coach Bryan Harsin joins after practice tonight. The Tigers open SEC play against Missouri Saturday morning at 11. Our coverage will begin at 8. That's 8 a.m. with the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage from our stage on the east side of Jordan-Hare Stadium. Plus, senior place kicker Anders Carlson wraps up the show tonight. The number 2 scorer in Auburn history has returned to form after a knee injury from last season. Also this weekend, women's tennis is playing at North Carolina State's Invitational this weekend. Soccer playing at Arkansas as we speak. Then hosts Ole Miss on Sunday. Women's golf is playing in the Mason Rudolph Championship outside Nashville. Men's tennis at Vanderbilt and Clemson. Unbeaten volleyball opens SEC play at Alabama Saturday and Sunday. Men's golf opens play in the SEC Fall Preview in Birmingham on Sunday. And softball plays a pair of exhibition matches at Jane B. Moore Field again on Sunday. Stay tuned. We're right back with Nick Clinard as Tiger Talk, presented by Alfa Insurance from Baumhauer's Victory Grill, continues in a moment.
Communities don't just happen. They're built by people. From the big moments to the small acts of kindness. It's the authentic connections we make that define us. At Alfa Insurance, we know that every day you're building things that are worth protecting. Because for us, this is more than coverage. It's who we are. Alfa Insurance, building tomorrow together.
Working unsafely around underground utilities could put you at risk for outages, injury, and loss of life. Don't risk it. Alabama 811 plays a vital role in taking the request to have the underground utilities marked. It's free, it's simple, it's the law. Visit al811.com for more info.
Excitement is in the air at Kia of Auburn. Mascots, marching bands, historic rivals, and school chants. Football season is finally here. Kia of Auburn is proud to be a supporter of Auburn Tiger football and athletes. And no matter what team you pull for, you'll always be a winner in a new Kia. From Kia of Auburn, SUVs, sedans, sports cars, hybrids, or electric, we have them all. Our sales and service teams are here to serve you. Stop in person or online at KiaofAuburn.com. Kia of Auburn, where you are always number 1.
We've all fallen into boring routines. We just keep doing what has to get done. Isn't it time to escape the old routine and make time for yourself? Make time to go out with old friends. Make time to add excitement back into your life. Make time to feel like a winner again. Life is more fun when you live it. So what are you waiting for? Escape every day at Wind Creek Casino and windcreekcasino.com.
From mobile banking to retirement planning to business loans, Trustmark is the bank that fits you to a T. Trustmark. People you trust, advice that works. Member FDIC.
Hey, I'm Charles Barkley. Call for a Redmont and water at bars and restaurants throughout the great state of Alabama. Redmont Vodka, available at select ABC stores and package stores. Redmont Vodka is 8 times distilled, gluten-free, and is made from non-GMO corn. Looking to support a local business? Redmont Distilling is Alabama proud and minority owned. Learn more online at redmontdistilling.com.
Submit questions by emailing aubtigertalk@gmail.com. Now, back to Tiger Talk, presented by Alfa Insurance.
And welcome back to Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Auburn. It is a beautiful night, and we have a terrific show lined up for you. We're going to talk men's golf with head coach Nick Clinard right after we remind you that the same people who installed the sound system at Jordan-Hare and run the sound for every home game, they're also available for your special event. Auburn AV can handle any size event, even if you bring 87,000 of your closest friends. Visit auburnav.com and see all of their audio-video solutions. With Andy Burcham, I'm Brad Law, and the Auburn men's golf team is off to a terrific start here this season. They won the Maui Gym Intercollegiate out in Scottsdale, Arizona a couple of weeks ago, and now they are ranked #1 in America. Head coach Nick Clinard joins us now. Welcome, War Eagle.
War Eagle, thank you. Appreciate you having me. #1 sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Huh, can you say that again?
Yeah, #1 ranked men's golf team in the country, and deservedly so. I mean, you guys really... You didn't waste any time out in Scottsdale either.
You know, we played some really good golf. You know, the guys we play 18, 18, 18 each day in 54 holes, and we got to 40 under par through 32 holes. And I kept looking at it on GolfStat, and I was like, wow, this is pretty impressive. Maybe I should just go to the clubhouse and sit there. But no, we got a great team. We got great depth. We got a great staff. We got Chris Williams, my assistant coach. He's sitting over here in the crowd in his bright shirt. There he is, giving a shout out. He's the best assistant in the country, and
that's a great shirt, by the way. You're not kidding.
Great shirt. Is that what is on
that's
that
good.
shirt? What is that shirt, Chris? It's Under Armour. It's Under Armour.
Rod Bramlett would be proud of that shirt.
Yeah, he would. That's good.
Yeah.
But we got a great staff and great team. We got a lot of depth, and just super happy for the guys. They work hard and do the right things in and out of the golf course. So, good things coming.
Yeah. Included in that 40 under as a team, a record-setting performance, was a 60. And he had a chance at a 59.
He did. You know, I got out there on 18 fairways. He's par 70, so he's 10 under for the day with a bogey. He bogeyed number 7, and he's got like 147 flag. And I'm like, he goes, how far do you think it's playing? And I'm sitting here like, I'm pretty juiced up, you know. Like I'm sitting there, you know, I'm like, what's the adrenaline like? And he's like, hey, I feel great. Like I feel like it's pretty normal. And he hit about 18 feet and had an 18-footer for 59, but unfortunately didn't make it. But 60 was pretty good. We'll take it. Yeah, Ryan Eshelman from Birmingham. So, great player.
That is a remarkable – listen, that's a remarkable number with the big boys on the PGA Tour, let alone in a college tournament.
It is. I mean, it's the record, so it's an NCAA record as well. He shot 60, so that tied the record. So, no college players ever shot in the 50s.
Goodness gracious.
Let's go to the audience. Jacob standing by with our first question from the crowd.
We have Julie. She wants to ask about coaching teams, golf, a sport like golf.
All right.
Coach, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
You know, you got a good team.
Thank you.
How much coaching do you actually do this with this team? Do you just do mostly moral support, or is there a lot of advice, or are you just letting them play?
You know, we do a little bit of everything. I mean, mindset's a huge deal, what we do. Just making sure they have a lot of self-belief, constantly telling them how good they are and to a certain point. And then we do some different times of year. We do some technical training too, just making sure that, you know, they're kind of tidied up in their technique and kind of what they're working on. And they also understand not only the short term, but the big term as far as the big picture, is where their mistakes are, whether the ball goes high, low, right, or left. And then we kind of let the horses run. You know, once we feel like we've done a lot of the technical part and we feel like their mind's in a good spot, then we'll let them run.
Julie, that's a good question. Thank you very much for that. Coach, your team got off to that hot start out in Scottsdale, but you still needed to surge on the back nine. You needed to finish well, and your guys did that.
We did. You know, we shot 22 under the first day. We shot 12, I think, the second day, and then we didn't play as well the final round. I thought we played kind of tight. And then we got 2 shots behind with about 8 holes to go. And then, you know, once that happened, my second-team All-American, J. Young Butler, just stepped up and birdied the last 5 like it was making pars. But the guys are very, very competitive, and they all finished well that last day. I mean, Evan Vo played great. I want to say he played the last 6 in like 4 under, and we just kind of blitzed them at the end.
All right, let's go back to the audience. Jacob is with Herbert.
Herb is asking about local tournaments.
Yeah, congratulations on #1.
Thank you.
My number one tonight was chicken and waffles. I recommend it.
That sounds better than mine. Number one.
Okay, you got 2 local tournaments this year, one at Grand National, one at Auburn University Club. Will we be able to volunteer to help with that in some way?
Yes, absolutely. Reach out to Joan Alexander. She's our director of ops, and she'll be on auburntigers.com. And we definitely could use your help, and we appreciate it. And bring a friend too. Okay. Yeah, we do have our tournament at Grand National. We also host NCAA regionals at the Auburn University Club, newly renovated Auburn University Club.
Speaking of the Alexander family, not only is Joan as the director of golf ops, but you've got her husband on staff with you right now, right?
We do. We're very blessed. We got Buddy Alexander. He came on our staff as a volunteer coach. He's the head coach at University of Florida for 27 years, I believe, and he coached at LSU as a head coach, and he won 10 SECs and he won 2 national championships, and he knows what it takes to compete and play at the highest level in our sport. And along with him and Chris Williams and myself, we have the best coaching staff in the country.
And you're getting ready to go into the fall preview coming up starting the beginning of next week. Tell us what that looks like and what you expect out of your guys there in Birmingham.
You know, I talked to them today. Chris and I met with them, and just to continue to follow the process. You know, let's not get too result-oriented. Number one's great, but we're trying to be number one in May. We're not trying to be number one in September. And all the flattery and the things in the text message they're getting, that's great. But when the tee goes in the ground on Sunday, you know, everybody's on the same playing field, and we got to go out and compete. And we got to compete really hard. And if we can get locked into the process and not worry about results, we're going to be in a good spot.
You faced a great field in Arizona. You're basically facing an SEC tournament championship field coming up on Sunday, aren't you?
It is. It's going to be tough. There's a lot of great programs, a lot of great coaches, and the quality of play in the SEC is the best in the country, just like every other sport. But we're going to go head-to-head in the fall and kind of see where we stack up.
How important for you is the fall schedule as compared to your spring schedule that leads to SECs, that leads to regionals, and, of course, the NCAA championships?
I mean, Andy, they're all important. We're continually trying to get better, and we're trying to be a lot better in January than we are in September, and February than we are in October. And, you know, if we can just continue to follow that process and have the guys buy into that, because we're so result-oriented, you know, just in sports and life in general, especially with cell phones, and we just try to get them to lock into the process. And if we can do that, we're going to, because we have the skill, we have the talent, and we have great guys that work really hard, and we're going to be in a good spot come May.
How important or unimportant is course familiarity? I mean, there's so much data you can get about these various courses, but to have walked them, to have played the courses, how important is that?
Extremely. Yeah, different grasses, different environment. It's the comfort of it. It's all the way down to knowing where the range is and knowing where the locker room is and where food's going to be served. It's just a comfort thing, and I think that's just human nature as human beings, knowing where everything is, where they're going to go stretch, where they're going to get therapy, where they're going to warm up post-practice. All that stuff's really important.
How much more coaching do you do on practice day when they're seeing the course for the first time?
We do a little bit, just trying to figure out the green speeds and then how firm or how soft the greens are and some strategy. But you know, we're trying to get the guys to compete on practice days. And that's something we're really harping on this year.
Okay.
And Chris has really helped with that because, you know, being the number one player in the world for every year, he's really brought in a good playing aspect to the guys on trying to help them to understand how hard you have to compete. And the difference between tour players and college golfers is they compete hard every day.
A lot of talent on your team, and they're an awful lot of fun to track throughout the year. Wish you all the best as this year plays out. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very
tonight.
much. Yep, War Eagle.
War Eagle. Men's golf head coach Nick Clinard joining us here on Tiger Talk at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Again, the SEC preview coming up next week in Birmingham. You can check it out. Get the full schedule at auburntigers.com. We will switch gears and talk football for the rest of the show. Head coach Bryan Harsin will be here a little bit later on. We'll be joined by senior place kicker Anders Carlson, now number 2 on Auburn's all-time scoring list. So stay with us. More from Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Auburn coming up next. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Be sure to collect a piece of Auburn history with the 2022 Auburn Football Yearbook. Get your copy for just $10 in and around Jordan-Hare Stadium on game days. Special features include senior spotlights, opponent profiles, and introduction from University President Chris Roberts, plus game day information. Look for digital game programs before every game, home and away. And buy the Auburn Football Yearbook for just $10 in and around Jordan-Hare Stadium.
At Auburn, we believe in work, hard work. That's why we believe in the Ford F-150 truck and love it. With the available smart tech you need, plus a choice of 7 available engines, delivering premium grade muscle and impressive power numbers, F-150 can help you tackle whatever the day brings. This is head coach Bryan Harsin. Check out the official truck of the Auburn Tigers at your local Ford dealer today. War Eagle.
Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code, Lesson 86. This is how you say, gee willikers, it's a hot one. Let's cool down with some Bud Lights. That's it for today. Bud Light, crisp.
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Campbell under center. Campbell's going to throw on the play action into the end zone. Touchdown!
Hi, this is Jason Campbell. The game has changed. The future of Auburn athletics demands a strong name, image, and likeness collective. That's On to Victory, the NIL collective for Auburn student athletes. I urge you to support On to Victory. You can improve the lives of our players and give our teams the best chance for success. Learn more at ontovictory.com.
Welcome back on Tiger Talk, brought to you by Alfa Insurance from Baumhauer's Victory Grill, Auburn and Missouri. 11 o'clock is kickoff, a little after 11:07.
Yeah, 11:07.
11:07 is official kickoff time on Saturday. We'll be on the air at 8 on the Tiger Tailgate Show presented by Conecuh Sausage. The homecoming court will be there. We'll have representatives from both the Auburn College of Agriculture and the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering. Will be joining us. Quentin Riggins will be on the show.
Yes.
Who am I missing?
Drew Fabianich.
Drew Fabianich, Auburn's general manager for football.
How about as Auburn recognizes and celebrates 50 years of Title IX?
Right.
Kylie Carter.
Kylie Carter, who's from Beauregard.
Yep.
Outstanding discus thrower for Auburn track and field. And Loretta Freeman Booker.
Yeah.
Loretta, of course, an outstanding All-American basketball player.
SEC Player of the Year in 1993.
She led the league in scoring and rebounding
in the same year at the same time. 18 and 13 in her senior season.
So we will talk with Loretta and Kylie. So it will be a jam-packed show bright and early on Saturday morning.
And if anybody wants to bring donuts, that's just fine.
Sure.
You know where our stage is located. Because Ronnie and Jason and Stan like them.
Yes, you will sacrifice, won't you?
Well, sure, if they're there.
Right.
I'll take whatever's left.
So very kind of you.
Yeah.
Hey, tonight's show brought to you in part by Wind Creek Casino and Hotel. With 3 Alabama locations in Atmore, Montgomery, and Wetumpka, you can escape every day at Wind Creek Casino and Hotel and at windcreekcasino.com.
Let's tell you what else is going on this weekend. Of course, it is homecoming weekend, and so, you have your traditional events that are going on a game weekend, and you can find those at aotourism.com. Auburn Opelika Tourism, proud to sponsor the Auburn Sports Network. The other weekend events include the Football Fans and Feathers, Southeastern Raptor Center, the Raptor Show. It's interactive. They fly right by you. If that's interactive. You don't touch them, but they fly by you. Anyway, that's 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. You have Come Home to the Corner. You have downtown events in Auburn and Opelika on game weekends. The Homecoming Parade and Pep Rally is 6 o'clock tomorrow night, downtown Auburn, with floats from on and off campus organizations, the cheerleaders, Tiger Paws, marching band, the 5 Miss Homecoming candidates, and of course Aubie will be there. The parade will start at 6 o'clock tomorrow night and will complete a short loop around downtown Auburn before it concludes with a pep rally around 6:30 on Sanford Lawn. And again, to find out more about that and everything else going on this homecoming weekend, visit aotourism.com.
May I make a correction?
Yes.
Kylie Carter threw the javelin at Auburn, not the discus. I apologize.
So I knew she was
very good.
I knew she was world class at javelin,
yes.
But I thought maybe she was.
No, it was just a mistake on my part, Brad.
All right. Well, now we have that cleared up, and we're all ready to go.
Sure. That's out of the way.
That's right. Let's remind you how you can be a part of the show tonight. There are several ways to do it. If you have questions, if you're in the audience tonight, what another good-looking crowd we have, by the way, at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Simply raise your hand. Jacob Hillman will come to you with the wireless microphone, and we'll get your questions in there for Coach Harsin and for Anders Carlson. He's coming up later in the show. You can email, if you're not here in the house tonight, you can email aubtigertalk@gmail.com. You could tweet questions at AU Sports Network, or if you're watching us, on Facebook or YouTube, you can leave your questions in the comments section, and that's how you can be a part of the show.
Auburn soccer playing at Arkansas right now. The Tigers and the Hogs are scoreless. About 14 and a half minutes into that match.
Both teams have one shot on goal. Auburn looking to bounce back from its SEC opener at Missouri, and in a tough place to play up there in Fayetteville.
Well, they're the I think, two-time defending SEC champs, and a very good athletic and offensive team. It should be is a great matchup between their offense and Auburn's defense. Two of the very best going head-to-head in Fayetteville at their park. Understand Coach is in some traffic getting here from practice.
And that's something, by the way, I think everybody here probably dealt with a little bit of traffic getting here. I know that the three of us, Tim and Jacob and I, we had to reroute because of some traffic coming over earlier today. That was earlier, but still. So, he will be here.
Let me say this while Coach is on his way. Hats off to the Auburn family last weekend.
No doubt.
At Jordan-Hare Stadium. A 2:30 start, and the atmosphere at the ballpark was top notch. Folks in their orange, the flyover, the Eagle Flight, the marching band. I mean, it was an electric atmosphere at Jordan-Hare Stadium. And Coach talked about it on his post-game show, on his TV show afterward. And you know that there was disappointment with the game itself, but certainly recognized just how terrific the Auburn family was. And let's say it, folks. It's an 11 o'clock game Saturday morning. Got to be there for this SEC opener between Auburn and Missouri.
Well, and I think that, that's obviously we're biased, but I think that's what separates Auburn from some other places. You can have a disappointing game on Saturday, and I think everybody was caught off guard a little bit and certainly disappointed in the result. But now SEC play is here, and there's nothing you can do to go get last Saturday back. What do you do with this Saturday?
Well, you don't let Penn State beat you twice.
Correct.
And we've heard that a couple times this week, haven't we?
Players talked about it immediately
absolutely.
After the game. It was already, and smartly so, on the mind of the coaches and the players to try to flush that game as quickly as possible and take on a Missouri team that is 2-1. They have wins over Louisiana Tech and Abilene Christian. Their loss was at Kansas State, and so, you try to have them experience some trouble on the road for a second time this season.
It'll be interesting because several on the staff for Missouri have either Auburn ties or ties with Coach Harsin or both. Eli Drinkwitz, the head coach, was an offensive analyst at Auburn on the 2010 National Championship team. He also coached for Coach Harsin at Arkansas State and at Boise State.
Yeah.
And there are several other. Remember Curtis Looper?
Curtis Looper
he
was
on that staff.
Was on the 2010 National Championship staff.
Al Pogue, who was most recently a defensive backfield coach for Auburn, is on this staff. So it's going to be interesting, and yet this is Missouri's first ever trip to Jordan-Hare Stadium. This completes Missouri's trek around the Southeastern Conference. This is the final stadium to complete their list of stadiums in SEC play.
Their 11th year in the SEC.
Yeah, how about that?
And it's taken that long. I think we went up there in 2017. A little hard to believe it's been 5 years since Auburn and Missouri have played, but that was a night where, Jarrett Stidham and Kerryon Johnson.
Kerryon Johnson scored 5 touchdowns and didn't rush for 100 yards in the game.
Yeah. Big plays in the passing game and converting in the red zone, and that was a memorable night up in Columbia for sure. All right, this is Tiger Talk, and we are live at Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Auburn. Coach Harsin will be here soon. Anders Carlson a little bit later on in the show. What are you eating later tonight?
I don't know.
Okay.
I typically am a little more focused than this right now. I'm embarrassed to say that I don't know at this point. I know you guys enjoyed some pizza earlier.
Jacob went with the pepperoni. I went with the bada bing minus the mushroom.
That's my favorite. of the pizzas here at the Bada Bing.
I'll tell you, it's the best pizza that I've had anywhere in a very long time.
It will probably come down to the cheesy burger with the several cheeses or the fish tacos.
The triple play cheeseburger?
Yes.
Yeah? All right. Grilled or fried fish?
Fried.
Fried?
Yeah.
It's good stuff. All right.
Let's not get ridiculous here, okay?
Okay, fair enough. All right. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back here, we hope to be joined by head football coach Bryan Harsin. Again, submit your questions by emailing aubtigertalk@gmail.com, tweet at AU Sports Network, or leave questions on Facebook or YouTube in the comments section. And if you're here in the audience, raise your hand. Jacob will come to you with a wireless microphone. Stay with us. Tiger Talk continues in a moment.
Tiger fans, it's game day. Time to put on the team colors, set up the tailgate, and enjoy some football. Of course, no tailgate is complete without Golden Flake snack. From our crispy potato chips, our light and airy pork skins, to our deliciously cheesy cheese puffs, you're certain to score big. So grab a bag of Golden Flake or any of our delicious snacks from the Utz family of brands. It's game time. Tailgate with Golden Flake, celebrating 65 years as the official salty snack of the Auburn Tigers.
Things we take for granted, ordinary opportunities for parents and their children, can be a foster child's extraordinary. You have the power to do something positive that will change the life of a young person right here in Alabama. Open your heart and open your home to a foster child today. For more information, visit www.dhr.alabama.gov or call 1-866-64-AL-KIDS. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Head down. He's in. Touchdown, Auburn!
The game has changed, and the future of Auburn athletics now demands a strong name, image, and likeness program. I'm Andy Burcham, and I urge you to support On to Victory, the name, image, and likeness collective for Auburn student athletes. Please take this opportunity to improve the lives of our players and give our teams the best chance of success. Learn more at ontovictory.com.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp code, lesson 86. This is how you say, gee willikers, it's a hot one. Let's cool down with some Bud Lights. And that's it for today. Bud Light, crisp.
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
The 2-minute warning, the caution flag, the 4. At PNC Bank, we believe in the power of a helpful watch out. That's why we created Low Cash Mode, the new financial watch out that gives you multiple options and at least 24 hours of extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Low Cash Mode on Virtual Wallet from PNC Bank. Available on all virtual wallet products. To learn more, visit pnc.com/Low Cash Mode. Copyright 2021, the PNC Financial Services Group, Inc. All rights reserved. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
You're listening to Tiger Talk from the Auburn Sports Network. Back to Andy and Brad.
And we welcome you back to the show live at Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Auburn. It is Tiger Talk. It is Missouri game week. Auburn in the SEC opener Saturday morning at Jordan-Hare Stadium. We are glad that you all are with us tonight. We're glad you're watching or listening wherever you are watching or listening from. And we're joined by head football coach Bryan Harsin, who didn't know he was going to wind up as actually part of the Auburn High School parade tonight, but that's the way it works.
Yes, we had a little bit longer practice. We added an extra 15 minutes to our practice day, our meeting time actually, because Tank Bigsby had a gift for the players. So they had it was awesome. So he had a chance to get up in front of the team and talk to everybody and say a few words, and then he had Beats headphones for the entire team. It was awesome.
Nice.
And so great energy to start the meetings today, and really awesome by Tank, great teammate. And so, that made practice go a little bit longer, but it was worth it.
There is such an interesting dynamic with this game coming up because of guys that have worked with you, been at Auburn. Yep. There's a great familiarity between these two coaching staffs coming into this one and the two head coaches.
You have Auburn and Boise State, a connection there with these staffs. And the head coach, Eli Drinkwitz, he worked for me at Arkansas State, came to Boise State, was our offensive coordinator, and then he's worked his way up. Bush Hamden, who is their quarterback coach, wide receiver coach, was also a quarterback at Boise State that I had coached. And then Blake Baker had been with me at Arkansas State, who is their defensive coordinator, who worked for Manny Diaz, who we played against this last week. So there is a connection there, and I'm really proud of those guys. They're great human beings. They're very good at what they do, and so we're looking forward to playing them. That doesn't change the competition, but in this world of coaching, it's a small world, and these guys are very good at what they do, and it's going to be a challenge this week to go out there and compete against them.
All right, you've dealt with some stuff off the field this week. There's been some speculation with regard to your quarterbacks, and here's one thing I do know about you and this staff. You're never going to put a guy out there from a medical standpoint where he's going to hurt himself or certainly hurt the team at this point. So can you kind of clear up some stuff with regard to your quarterback as you get ready for this game on Saturday?
Yeah, well, I think the one thing, this has always been a policy, but, we talk about guys that have season-ending injuries. We don't talk about every injury.
Right.
And, unfortunately, there's just a lot of information out there. And these poor kids, they're just trying to focus on getting healthy if they're dinged up, trying to prepare themselves for the week. And, that becomes the storyline. And really the storyline for us is what we're trying to do to get prepared for Missouri. And, but those guys have handled it well. I really do. I think those guys have all taken it in stride. And we talk about the noise, and you got to block out that. And, unfortunately, it's impossible for 18 to 22-year-olds to be able to do those things. And so that's what we deal with. We probably spend more time on that than a lot of football that we want to be doing, unfortunately. And, it's not our advantage to really have those conversations and to give information out and those type of things. So everybody, that I've told you that it's able to play, that's really the case, because today is the day that we make decisions on players who are injured, whether they can go or not. You give them Monday, you really give them Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday is the day. If they can practice, then they can play in the game. And I've had that policy for a long time. So, it is unfortunate. We have to deal with those things, but that's what we do internally with our guys to make sure that they're focused on what we have to do to get our guys prepared and ready. And so, we go into this game and we know that we feel good about where our guys are at. We feel good about the competition that's happened throughout the week. And when we go out there and play, we'll have a quarterback on the field and he'll play well. And that's really our advantage, to leave it at that. And, I know people want to know that, but that's for our team, and that's got to be something that's respected, and I hope that is.
From a medical standpoint, though, you're never going to put a guy out there that is hurt, right?
No, not intentionally. I mean, that's always the case, right? I mean, we do a great job with our concussion protocol. We do a great job with our injury protocol. We do a great job with, our medical staff and making sure these guys can go out there and play. And when I say it's football, guys also, when they get a little dinged up, they want to be out there. And that's sometimes they can play through some of those things. And so that's why you have a medical staff. I don't do the medical work on our players, all right? We have a medical team for that. But when they decide, hey, this guy's okay or this guy is not okay, then we listen to that, and then we make decisions on what we have to do moving forward. And I don't think that's any different anywhere in the country.
Right.
It's really not, but that's, a topic of conversation that, we do address, and we're aware of it, and our players are aware of it. And so, those guys know that.
And Doc Goodland and his staff take a backseat to nobody else in the country, that's for sure.
No doubt.
We've got more with Coach Harsin coming up. We'll go into the crowd, get some questions there, and talk a little more about the SEC opener against Missouri coming up here from Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Auburn. Stay with us. It's Tiger Talk, and this is the Auburn Sports Network.
The Auburn Tigers Today podcast keeps you plugged into the Tigers like nowhere else, with Andy Burcham's weekly coaches interviews, post-game audio, and Jacob Hellman's comprehensive This Week in Auburn Athletics feature. It's the only podcast that keeps you current on everything happening around Auburn athletics, from Jordan Hare to Neville Arena and beyond. Just like and subscribe to Auburn Tigers Today podcast.
It's a great day for Auburn Tigers to get vaccinated. COVID and flu vaccines are an important tool to help stop the pandemic. The Alabama Department of Public Health is offering the COVID and flu vaccines to anyone 6 months and older. COVID and flu. The COVID and flu vaccines are safe, effective, and free. COVID and flu are still on the rise. Don't let COVID and flu stop you from supporting your favorite team. Continue to help protect yourself, your friends, and our campus by getting the COVID and flu vaccines. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
Putting together a winning drive takes focus, determination,
There's the snap, dropping back.
and that powerful form of energy
Scrambles to his right, looking downfield.
called belief.
Launches it toward the end zone.
That belief in a team, in a community of fans, in each other.
Touchdown!
That powerful energy connects us all. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers. Power for a better Alabama.
Download the Auburn Game Day app. Find tickets, skip concession lines, be a part of game day giveaways, shop the latest Auburn gear, stay current with a comprehensive social media stream, participate in game day light shows, plus listen to every Auburn Sports Network broadcast, even when multiple games are happening simultaneously on the official mobile app of Auburn Athletics, the Auburn Game Day app. Get it today.
And welcome back on Tiger Talk from Baumhauer's Victory Grill, brought to you, of course, by Alfa Insurance. Glad to have you with us. Another great crowd at Baumhauer's tonight. Hey, tonight's show is brought to you in part by Chick-fil-A. All Chick-fil-A locations in Alabama proudly support the Auburn Tigers. Auburn and Missouri, 11 o'clock on a Saturday morning, the SEC opener. Missouri's first ever trip to Jordan-Hare Stadium. First time, this is their last trip in the SEC where they've not been before. We were talking a little bit about this Missouri team during the break. I mean, they're young at some spots, but boy, they are talented. And I think it starts at that wide receiver spot. They are electric at wide receiver, Coach.
Yeah, they really are. They do a great job with that group, and their freshman Luther is the real deal. He's a guy they want to get the ball to. You see in punt return, kickoff return, other ways they can get the ball to him, but they're going to utilize him. And I think their quarterback has played well from what I've seen. They played a really good Kansas State team and did not do much, but overall, offensively, they're going to be creative. They're going to run the football. They're going to have some shots and some different trick plays, so we have to be prepared for that. And then defensively, some things that we saw over the last couple games, I'm sure we'll see in this one. But overall, their front is going to look really, really good, and they play well. And then the back end is solid. So we got to do a great job attacking in the run game and the pass game. We got to spread the ball around the field and just make those guys, have to tackle us in space. And I think that's an advantage for us if we can do that.
Back to the audience we go. Jacob?
Julie is asking about your positioning on the sideline during games.
Yeah, so that's kind of it.
Yeah.
War Eagle, Coach.
Yeah, War Eagle.
I've watched you on the field, and I notice you tend to primarily position yourself behind the offense, whether it's us or them. Just curious why that vantage point and what you glean from that.
Sure. Yeah, well, I think one of the advantage is when I'm behind our offense in particular, I can see what the defense is doing. And I can walk back behind the defense, but I don't want to get too far away from our offensive players in case I need to communicate a personnel group to them. So I try to stay close to them. And when the defense is out there, I'm trying to stay out of the way, but I'm also watching their offense. And I'm not watching our defense. I'm watching their offense. And if I can pick something up, if I can pick up a motion or a backfield alignment or something that they might be doing. Now, it's loud in our stadium, so I might be saying run, and our players aren't hearing that. But maybe if we can pick something up soon enough, that might help us in the call. And then ultimately, I'm around those officials. When you start getting to the last half and into game, and especially in the red zone, try to get around the officials if you need a timeout. So you move around in the game, stay away from the officials, but I want to try to see what our offense is seeing, and I want to see what their offense is doing and see if I can pick something up to help our defense. Good question.
Thank you, Julie, for that. We go back to the other side of the room here. Herb has a question.
War Eagle, Coach.
War Eagle.
We got 3 games behind the rearview mirror and 9 ahead. Now's the time that we need leadership from internal to form and to rise up from within within the team? Are you seeing that?
Yeah, you know what? And that's been an emphasis for a while, and I am seeing that. You know, our captains, we are starting SEC play. And the one thing about that is, you know, that's exactly what our goal is. Our goal is to win that conference. So we actually talked about that on Tuesday, but our leadership, I think they've done a really good job as far as internally. And I think they understand the task at hand, and that's really what I've asked those guys to focus on. Right now it's Missouri. And what do we have to do to get ourselves ready for that? So they know that. You know, we talk, we text, you know, we spend time talking about leadership with those guys, and I think they've got a good handle on it. But it's not just them, it's other players on our team that know we have to hone in and make sure that we're focused and we do the things we need to do to be successful in the games.
Your captain this week that has selected for this week is Eku Leota. He had a terrific game, I thought, for you.
He did.
This past weekend in the Penn State game for you, Coach.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why he was selected.
Yeah.
He really is. Eku is a guy that is consistent every day. He is a guy that, you know, as far as task at hand approach, that is him. And he plays the play. That's what he does. He focuses on what he needs to do. He executes, and he's on to the next play when that one's over. He's really got a great mentality. And I think a lot of guys in our team do as well. And that's really been, you know, our focus through this week is to continue to make sure that, you know, whatever we're doing, you know, that we call it the task at hand, that we're focused on that and we finish whatever we started. And for us, that's a play. It's play by play, and that's what we have to do to be successful. And our guys know that, and I've appreciated their effort, their focus on that, and it's been really good this week.
You mentioned earlier Missouri, they're good up front, they're good on the back end. How much do you look at what other teams have done that has been successful against an upcoming opponent and then mold what you do or take from that and try to install a version of that into your game plan from week to week?
Yeah, I think every team that you play, you watch the opponent they played and what did they do well. Mm-hmm. You know, you want to see if that fits who you are, and you also want to know if that's something that you can take advantage of because their structure allows that. And at the same time, you look at maybe they got hit. There's some one-hit wonders out there, right, that teams hit defenses or offenses on, and you got to assume sometimes that they're going to get that corrected. So maybe that's not going to be the best idea for us this week if you try to do that. So you're always looking at their opponent or the opponents they played. You're looking at them. You're looking at things you do. And then as the week goes on, again, you look at your personnel, you look at where you are and what's going to work best going into that game. So it's a combination of all that. That's why you spend all those hours trying to put that plan together to get it just right, to execute it in practice, to make sure that in the game it's going to be successful.
Got one more segment here with head coach Bryan Harsin, and then Anders Carlson joins us on the stage. Don't go away. We'll get more questions from the audience as we go on from Baumhower's Victory Grill in Auburn. Tiger Talk continues in a moment.
All right, everyone, let's hit the road.
Mom, who's this?
Oh, that's Michelle. She's our Alfa agent. She helped me file that auto claim fast after that accident last week, so I figured we'd bring her with us.
Breakfast burrito?
All right, 200 miles before we stop. I hope you've all used the bathroom. Michelle, you good?
Before a little thing becomes a big thing, call your Alfa agent.
This is head coach Bryan Harsin. I've been around cars all my life. Working on them, racing them, have taught me about being prepared, pay attention to details, and do things the right way. That's why I drive an F-150 pickup, because Ford does things the right way too. They designed F-150 to be powerful, smart, and always game day ready. That's why Ford F-150 is the official truck of the Auburn Tigers. Visit your local Ford dealer today. War Eagle.
Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
It's a great day for Auburn Tigers to get vaccinated. COVID and flu vaccines are an important tool to help stop the pandemic. The Alabama Department of Public Health is offering the COVID and flu vaccines to anyone 6 months and older. COVID and flu. The COVID and flu vaccines are safe, effective, and free. COVID and flu are still on the rise. Don't let COVID and flu stop you from supporting your favorite team. Continue to help protect yourself, your friends, and our campus by getting the COVID and flu vaccines. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
Putting together a winning drive takes focus, determination.
There's the snap, dropping back.
And that powerful form of energy,
Scrambles to his right, looking downfield.
called belief.
Launches it toward the end zone.
That belief in a team, in a community of fans, in each other.
Touchdown!
That powerful energy connects us all. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers. Power for a better Alabama.
You're listening to Tiger Talk from the Auburn Sports Network. Back to Andy and Brad.
This is Tiger Talk from Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Auburn coach Bryan Harsin alongside one final segment with Coach, and we'll get right back to the audience. Go ahead, Jacob.
Buster wants to talk about Landon King.
Yes, sir, Coach. War Eagle.
War Eagle.
When the inevitable happens and we're up by like 21 at halftime, will we see the enigma that is Landon King, the receiver?
Well,
An
hey,
enigma.
you know what? Yes, he's been out there, and he's actually had plays that we've tried to target him. So he's in the mix, and he's out there. He's getting reps. He's getting more and more reps. He's doing well on special teams too. I mean, you'll see him out there. Look for him on special teams. Look for him on kickoff and kickoff return. And but as far as offensively, yeah, he's actually been in there. He's been the first read. We haven't gotten to him, but he's been a guy that we're trying to target. So he's got a pretty sizable package this week that he can use, that we're going to use with him. And so I think he'll be out there and hopefully get the ball in his hands and we get a chance to see him make some plays. But he's doing everything on his end to have himself in the mix and ready to go.
Had a tremendous catch on a third down play to convert a big 3rd and long in the game against Penn State as well.
Yeah, he did, yes.
So a question came in. This is from Matt in Jacksonville, Alabama, about cutting down on turnovers and penalties and about how you go about it. I mean, clearly it's an emphasis. Of course it's an emphasis. So how do you manage trying to tackle that in practice situations?
Well, besides conditioning, all right, you emphasize it. And, it really comes down to one, I mean, we talk all about the ball, and you've got to take care of that. That's one thing statistically you can show in the game of football. Like, that's going to be the number one factor that changes the game. And our goal every game is to be +1. So if we don't have any turnovers on offense, you got to at least get 1 on defense. If you had 2, you got to get 3. You want to be +1. And that factor, when you look at games, and I did a study, when I was at Boise. I mean, we won. You're winning 85% or more of your games when you're winning the turnover battle. So that really is a telling tale of just what happens in the game if there's a turnover battle and you lose that. So the emphasis is taking care of the football. And we were great, last year's team. And we didn't have very many, and we've got to eliminate that. And then on defense, we got to find ways to get it. So they're aware of it, but it's something that has to change. It's something that, as far as in the game that's going to really create momentum is getting takeaways and hanging on to football.
I know you're not just the biggest stats guy in the world, but to show you, I mean, you had more first downs in this game than the first 2. Your yards per play on the year is top half in the SEC. You had more total plays offensively in this game than in the first 2. So there are signs that this offense is doing plenty of things well. It is simply a matter, in large part, of holding on to the football as you get into conference play. It
is, and then some of the penalties. That's the other part too. Those things can kill some momentum. But you're right. I mean, that's kind of the tale as you look at it and say there's some really positive things. But at the end of the day, it's that scoreboard and it's the football, hanging on to that, and our guys know that. So it's not going back and trying to reinvent the wheel. It's building on what we've done. It's being better at it. And that's, my message to our guys is execution. And those guys know that. And it's really, that's what it comes down to, because they know it, and they're all capable of doing it. And I know our guys, they want to do those things. And I'm very proud of our team for the work that they continue to put in, because they know that those things are in place. We just got to go out there and get it done. And they've been doing that this week. And you know what? The best thing for us right now is we got an 11 a.m. game on Saturday. So wake up, eat, throw your suit on, and go play. That's the best thing we could do right now is just get out there and get on that field and get back to work. And these guys have deserved an opportunity to go out there and play this week by how they practice and to play well. And I'm looking forward to watching these guys do that.
I know you appreciated what the atmosphere was like this past weekend
Awesome.
Against Penn State.
Awesome.
Looking forward again to be this way on Saturday morning.
Absolutely. I brag on that, and we had a bunch of recruits. We had a bunch of people in, and they love it. And so, that's got to continue. That's making an impact. And I can tell you right now, like the people that we want to bring in into our program, they see that, they love it, and that's going to make a difference for our future.
Coach, we appreciate the visit very much. Yeah. Looking forward to watching your team out there at 11 o'clock Saturday morning. War Eagle.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Head football coach Bryan Harsin with us here on Tiger Talk. Auburn and Missouri, 11:07 Saturday morning. When we come back, Anders Carlson joins us on the stage. He'll help us wrap up the show tonight from Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Auburn. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
The Auburn Football Review is your source for highlights, locker room interviews, special features, and more. For decades, the Auburn Football Review has been appointment viewing for Auburn fans throughout the Southeast. Join Andy Burcham each week as he visits with head coach Bryan Harsin to get his immediate take on the game. Check your local listings or auburntigers.com for when and how to watch the Auburn Football Review.
Things we take for granted, ordinary opportunities for parents and their children, can be a foster child's extraordinary. You have the power to do something positive that will change the life of a young person right here in Alabama. Open your heart and open your home to a foster child today. For more information, visit www.dhr.alabama.gov or call 1-866-64-AL-KIDS. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Tiger fans, it's game day. Time to put on the team colors, set up the tailgate, and enjoy some football. Of course, no tailgate is complete without Golden Flake snacks. From our crispy potato chips, our light and airy pork skins, to our deliciously cheesy cheese puffs, you're certain to score big. So grab a bag of Golden Flake or any of our delicious snacks from the Utz family of brands. It's game time. Tailgate with Golden Flake, celebrating 65 years as the official salty snack of the Auburn Tigers.
It's homecoming week on the Plains. Join us back at home in Jordan-Hare Stadium on Saturday, September 24th at 11 a.m. for the homecoming game versus Missouri. Tickets are still available. To purchase, visit aubtix.com or call the ticket office at 1-855-AUB-2010. That's the 2022 Auburn football homecoming game versus Missouri on Saturday, September 24th at 11 a.m. Buy your tickets today. Whoa, Regal.
Welcome back on Tiger Talk from Baumhauer's Victory Grill, of course, presented by Alfa Insurance. Please welcome to the Tiger Talk microphones from the kicking Carlson brothers. Anders joins us tonight on Tiger Talk.
I don't think Daniel was ever on Tiger Talk.
I don't believe so.
There we go.
You have something over on your brother.
Absolutely.
And Anders is also a Baumhauer's Victory Grill veteran, right?
Absolutely.
What did you say is your go-to here?
The Bam Bam chicken right here. The sauce, you can't beat it. Andy's got to get on it.
I do. You're right.
Sounds
Maybe
like
I go
you
to
know
that
about
tonight.
it. But, but Bam Bam chicken.
All right,
there
you go.
All right. We have a question quickly.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
Here's Julie.
Yeah, we're going to have to start paying Julie. She's going to be a part-time employee.
I know, right? Right. War Eagle.
War Eagle.
You have a brother, Dennis. Oh, Daniel. Daniel's your brother. Yeah. Do you guys talk often? Do you compare notes? How much do you talk to him?
We do talk a lot. He's obviously across the country, but good thing we got phones, and we do maybe a weekly FaceTime. But we talk about football, but we also talk about life. He's got 2 kids I like to keep up with, so one FaceTime a week for sure.
Talk about the athleticism coming out of your family. I mean, you get it honestly, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, we're tall, we're a little clumsy, but we grew up playing soccer, basketball, and then football as it came into high school years. But yeah, my dad always had us outside playing sports, so we learned to use our bodies.
Your dad was a tennis player too, right?
Yep. Played somewhere in the same state, different school.
Yeah,
I see. Okay.
But he was a tennis player, yes, sir.
All right.
I was going to ask about that because you have some roots that are a different color within the state in your family. But what are your earliest memories of Auburn football?
That would be my brother's redshirt year. So
yeah.
2013, which wasn't a bad year.
Yeah.
Coming down here, I think the first game I I came to was kick 6. You know, I had high school football going on, and finally got one night off, and I chose a pretty good game to come to. So,
I would say that was a good first game.
Absolutely, yep, good one for sure.
Back into the audience, Jacob. Buster standing by again.
Yes, wants to talk pilots.
Pilots.
Anders, I'm a pilot, and I know that now that you're going to be one. And you look the part. You're tall, but you look the part other than that.
Got the headset on, too. Yes, sir.
Tell me how many hours you got. I know you need 1,000 to get a job with the airlines. How many have you got? Well, Delta, how many have you got?
Yes, sir. Yep, 1,000's right, and I'm up to about 450. So almost halfway, and whenever the time's right, I'll hop back on the train and be in the skies.
How much during a season does it allow you to fly at this point?
I'm old now, so I'm focused on football this year. But in the previous years, you know, I was flying 3 times a week, getting 100 hours a year. So it's pretty slow. You know, you get in a plane, you think you fly forever, but you only get maybe 0.7, 0.8 a day. So.
And you're married now too.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Right. Okay.
Give her a shout out.
More pressure, your first kick in a big college stadium, or the first time you're in the cockpit and you're going to handle the controls yourself?
You're landing for the first time.
There you go.
I thought you were going to say when you drop down on a knee. We were just talking about my wife.
Well, yeah, no, we understand. No, the 3 of us know the pressure associated with that. Yeah.
I would give it to football. Flight's pretty peaceful. Football is pretty peaceful, but a little more pressure with football, I'd say.
All right. A lot more people there.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, exactly. All right. Back to the audience quickly.
I don't get paid for this either.
No.
Hey, I saw a guy missed the extra point. The ball was badly snapped and handled, laying horizontal with the fat toward the foot. Do y'all ever practice kicking a badly placed ball, or are you too committed to the motion for that to matter?
My snapper, my holder, I want to give them a shout out, Jacob and Oscar. They do a great job. Occasionally I'll get some laces messed up. But that's about it. They're so on point with what they do, and so we don't really practice. We just whatever happens that day happens, and most of the time they're money. So.
I was talking with Wes Byram last week, and he said during a game he might kick 100 times in the net. Is that pretty representative for you?
Yeah. I would say for me it's closer to 70.
Okay.
I don't try to kick my leg off. Games are long, so. But yeah, it's a lot of kicks. Sundays are pretty rough. You're pretty sore just on one side of the body too, so it's kind of awkward and funny. But lots of kicks.
Okay.
I heard you say earlier this week that it's great, and there'll be time to reflect a little bit on records and where you stand in the record books, but you're really just focused on the next 1 point or the next 3 points. So with that in mind, are you able to take in, kind of notice and soak up the atmosphere for different games like an SEC opener on Saturday, or are you just so focused on the next thing that you have to do?
I think I've learned through my experience getting older to take it in when it's the right time. So, coming out of the tunnel, and then after that, once you've taken your moment, just to treat it like any other game. It doesn't matter what kick it is, doesn't matter what team it is, just to be consistent in what you're doing, and I think that's helped me out a lot. So
enjoy the Bam Bam Chicken.
I will. It's going to be awesome.
Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you out there Saturday.
Thank you.
Right, thank you.
Anders Carlson, tremendous kicker for the Auburn Tigers. And with that, we wrap up another edition of Tiger Talk. Andy, we're looking forward to seeing everybody out there bright and early Saturday morning.
We'll be there at 8 o'clock on the stage with the Tiger Tailgate Show presented by Conecuh Sausage.
Tiger Talk is brought to you in part by AL.com. For all you need to know about college football, follow the AL.com Auburn Tigers Facebook page as well and read the stories on the Tigers. AL.com for everything Auburn fans need to know. The general manager of the Auburn Sports Network is Ben Harling. Our on-site engineer is Tim Walker. Studio producer Anthony Lowe.
Tony!
Jacob Hillman, our producer on site. Thanks to the staff and management at Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Auburn. We'll be back here again next Thursday night at 6 Central for another edition of Tiger Talk. For Nick Clinard, Bryan Harsin, Anders Carlson, for the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham, I'm Brad Law. Thanks for listening to Tiger Talk.
Tiger Talk, presented by Alfa Insurance. Auto, home, life, business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. Tonight's show has also been brought to you by the Alabama Department of Public Health. Together, we can create the best opportunity to support health and well-being for all Alabamians. by the simple southern goodness of Golden Flake, celebrating 65 years as the official salty snack of the Auburn Tigers. Alabama Power. At Alabama Power, we give 100% to achieve 99.9% dependability. Our commitment helps deliver power for a better Alabama. And by Wind Creek Hotel and Casino. With 3 Alabama locations in Atmore, Montgomery, and Wetumpka, you can escape every day at Wind Creek Hotel and Casino and windcreekcasino.com. Tiger Talk is an exclusive presentation of the Auburn Sports Network, a division of Playfly Sports.